Morfiki MassTURBOtar Oscillators. Welcome to yet another video with Morfiki MassTURBOtar Synth. Today we will discuss oscillators. In addition, a handy oscilloscope will be displayed in the right-hand corner of the screen. MassTURBOtar has two morphable oscillators. It means that apart from generating a given waveform, it can also morph smoothly into another waveform. Mixing is not a correct term here, because the transitions are made in many ways. We will discuss them now. The first basic transition involves mixing between saw, square, and triangle waveform. We can choose the waveform from a drop-down list under the oscillator control knob. We can morph between the waveforms simply by turning the knob manually while playing. Saw waveform can also be synced with itself. The pitch of the sync reference is C5. We determine the synchronization depth by changing the knob position between saw, shape, and sync. The last transition for this oscillator involves FM. However, we need to present a few more things before showing it. We can mix between the oscillators with the oscillator mix knob. Setting oscillators signals in 50-50 mix can be achieved by setting oscillator mix knob to its default position. We can do this simply by clicking on the R reset symbol below the knob. Moving on to the oscillator 2 control knob, we will start with the sine to square morphing. The transition is done by a process of quantization and amplifying sinusoid waveform. We can set up one waveform in between called quantized sine. Once again, manual tweaking gives smooth morphing. We can also introduce the pulse width modulation, which is done by offsetting the initial sine waveform. There is also one defined value in between this transition called pulse wave square. The last morph is from sine to tune noise. We call it tune because the bandpass filtering that is applied to noise signal responds to note events. The in-between waveform is called tuned noise also. As we can hear, the sinusoid shape is created by filtering of this noise. The transition changes how narrow the filter is used. Second oscillator can be tuned up and down in a range of 48 semitones. The knob that does this is oscillator 2 pitch. There's a handy drop-down menu below this control to set the precise value. After reviewing the second oscillator possibilities, we can go back to the first one and show the FM functionality. The FM is fed to the first oscillator from the second one. That is why we had to describe it first. Tuning the knob between triangle waveform and FM controls the modulation depth. Plus oscillator 2 FM sets a predefined reasonable value. Of course, frequency modulation of the first oscillator changes with the shape and pitch of the second oscillator. This concludes our oscillator tutorial. Please vote for us at the KVR Audio Developers Challenge 09. Thanks for watching.